Hello everyone, welcome to ScalperIQ. Today we're going to be talking about exhaustion markers, a core feature found in our newest release 1.04. We will soon have an explainer video out on what exhaustion is, and you'll find a link here. This video will just be a short explainer of the different settings you can find using ScalperIQ exhaustion markers. Before we dive into settings, let's take a look at the exhaustion markers printed on our chart right now. We see two seller exhaustion prints printed on our chart right now, defined by the two blue orbs, one here and one here. Okay, now let's dive into settings. For those of you who have been using ScalperIQ 1.03, many of these settings will look familiar to you. There is a new section now called Exhaustion Marker Settings. The first four settings are purely visual and only control how these markers appear on your chart. Draw exhaustion markers. Enable this setting to see exhaustion markers on the chart, disable it to hide them. Buyer exhaustion color. Change this setting to change the color of the buyer exhaustion marker. Same for the seller exhaustion color. If you have a custom theme selected, this will override any custom colors that you have input here. The next setting is exhaustion marker size. This setting controls how big the marker appears on your chart. Now, let's talk about the two settings that you as the user have to control when exhaustion markers are printed on your chart. Before we talk about how to adjust these two settings, let's talk about the sequence that ScalperIQ is looking for. First, we're looking for a sequence of high-intensity bars that are one-directional, either buying or selling. The number of bars to define this sequence is the setting bars before exhaustion. Once we have a defined sequence of a certain number of intense bars, we need a certain number of cooldown bars before we're going to print a marker. That setting is controlled by bars before signal. Once the requirements are met, at least 10 bars that are intense and 2 cooldown bars, we will print a marker. Keep in mind, with ScalperIQ's smart analytics, not every one of these sequences will qualify in placing a marker on your chart. Only the strongest ones are printed. When adjusting these settings, understand that you're defining the actual sequence. If you change your bars before signal to 0, then the first bar that does not meet the high intensity requirements will print a marker. This is maximum responsiveness, but at the expense of potentially being early before the move has fully exhausted itself. For example, if you have bars before signal set to 2, and a high intensity bar happens in the midst of that cooldown sequence, a marker will not print. Let's adjust bars before signal to 0, just to see what it does on the chart. You can see that the signals that were on the chart just a moment ago have now backed up 2 bars. In this case, it's quite responsive. In some cases, this will work well. In other cases, you'll be too early before exhaustion has actually taken place. The last setting, which you can control from the main settings panel or from the quick settings panel, is the maximum number of markers that you would like to see on the chart. The default is 2, but you're able to go all the way up to 10. Know with the way that ScalperIQ Smart Analytics works, the number of markers that you have on your chart is directly related to their strength. With 2 selected, you will see the top 2 candidates. With 10 selected, you will see all 10 candidates, with the 10th being the weakest. If you still have questions, there's a link in the description to our full documentation on exhaustion markers. Or you can join our Discord and ask your questions in our support channel. Thanks for joining us. Happy trading.